Done now.
I hope this works, yeah. So, good afternoon, my name is Bart Korff. On the background, I have a 40-year aerospace experience, ranging from Airbus to Gulfstream through Safran. I'm an ex-CEO in Zodiac Aerospace. But today I run a startup in a 120-year-old startup in Bangalore, based on a family legacy, 4 generations of entrepreneurs in Tamil Nadu and Canada. And it's a real honor to be among all these people here, which I consider half of my family. So thanks for having me.
Thank you everyone for introducing yourself. So for the next 20 minutes, we'll cover 4 aspects of the aerospace and defense supply chain. I have already circulated the points to them to think over. So starting from what it takes to integrate India into global aerospace and defense supply chain. Second, how to evolve from a build to print to build to spec. And second is market access. How can you access markets in Europe, US, and the wider Indo-Pacific? And third, what are the views on the policy regulations governing the aerospace and defense sector, starting from the industrial policies of the states across India, and the procurements, what their views in procurement, and third is what kind of support they expect from the government. So the August panel will express their views. Let's hear from them. Bart, to start with you.
So let's do the first question again. What was the first
So what
question?
is your view of the overall India's aerospace and defense sector? I mean, from a manufacturing perspective, where do we see, what do you see where we are heading to, and what we lack in terms of, instead of setting standards, we are just following the standards?
That's a very broad and good question. So let's start there, because there are at least a multiple of levels to attack this. There are a couple of huge positive points. Democracy, rule of law, mainly access to labor. A big part of what we do is still manual labor. Manual labor across the globe is a scarce commodity. Everybody's looking for people. We have a 7% growth year over year average in defense. That's a huge number. For a lot of industries, it's a dream. And this is going to take us decades of work ahead. The next portion is, where do we position ourselves? When I say we, by the way, I feel very part Indian. And working here, I've always been connected to my work, so the we is us in India. So we are often happy with our jobs, and we are happy to serve our customers, but I think we should step up in organizing us as an industry to present ourselves on another level of competence, investment, and a tier position where we are directly involved in programs. Apart from the military forced, outsourced positions we have, we should be at the table of Gulfstream, Boeing, Airbus, Safran, and all the other OEMs in the industry. And that takes organization among us. That is my view on that topic.
So coming to the organization part, I mean, you know that India at the moment has a very unstructured coverage of aerospace sector. You have CII, which is pan-India. Then you have their defense wing called SIDM, Society of Indian Defense Manufacturers. Then you have a new organization coming up, Aerospace Industries Association in Bangalore. And then you have local associations like IDART here. So how do you see it? Do you see you are more unstructured, and what it takes for you to get in the structured position to have a say on the table of Boeing, Gulfstream, what you have been referring to?
Yeah, so the question itself gives me the answer.
Yeah, I mean,
it's unstructured.
Yeah, so
and that is not going to bring you to the table of companies like Airbus. Let's face it, we have 1,700 aircraft on backlog in the world. That's a tens of billions of offset obligations towards India. And we are not, sitting at the table and explaining that we can. It is not that we must first, but it's the doubt whether we can be part. And that is what we need to bring to the table. We need to make them understand we can. We have the engineers, we have the people, we have the money to be at the table. So I'll give you a very Chicago Booth MBA answer. So these unexpected disruptions are not part of your strategy. If you want to plan for the unplanned, you will have a very hard life. So that is part of what we do every day. The unexpected is always there. Now, the bigger underlying question is how do we position ourselves on a global platform of forces? And there was somebody who mentioned the build-to-spec issue. Now, if you truly think about the in-depth issues of a build-to-spec, it's much deeper than a customer, an OEM, a first tier sending you a specification. 40 years back, Airbus lost an aircraft, an A320, in China. 40 years later, there is a similar aircraft, which is called the C919, in production in China. Now, do you think that aircraft is a threat to the A320 program? And I'm looking at my colleagues here, because they know the answer. Because the answer is no. The answer is no, because the engine on the modern Neo is 17% more effective than the engine on the 919. So the whole copy-paste program, tens of billions of whatever currency is there in China, has been irrelevant. Next to the step of certifying aircraft, which has nothing to do with the aircraft itself. It's paperwork, testing, design to spec, design to build. So underneath this question about transfer is the transfer of knowledge. And this is something we need to deeply think about. Yes, we have the people to do design to spec. I have no doubt about the education, the learning curve, the understanding of requirements. There is two things. Are our customers protected enough globally to do this with us, India? The other underlying question is, can our customers, partners, they will be partners by then, they are partners. Can our partners and we find a common cultural understanding to work together? I am Dutch. We are known to be incredibly straightforward. That is not unpolite. That is because we value your brain, opinion, your time, your judgment. We don't try and sugarcoat it and make it nicer. It's the no worry, sir, where my heart says I need to worry. And this is the two things, the protection of our customers and the collaboration level we need to achieve on programs where we can step up to that level. So that is a question I would like to answer, because I heard that one.
Thank you, Bart, for your valuable opinion on this. Now, to open the floor to the audience, we have